ISIS target right now.
If you walk down the street with me right here, you can see behind me this car that is completely burned out. It had TLC plates on it, likely an Uber car. And as you can see, somebody set this car on fire. This is just one example of so much chaos last night.
This is like 30 years of hard work going down the drain.
It's a family business now destroyed. Leo De Los Santos walked into his Burnside Avenue liquor store for the first time this morning after looters broke in and ransacked the store. The lock on the front still intact. Inside, they knocked over bottles and even destroyed the camera system.
This is not the way that you make a point. Destroying people's property, that's not the way.
Down the block, cell phone video shows crowds lifting up the gate on this T-Mobile store. Today, here's what's left. Not a phone in sight. At this bank, thieves ripped out the ATM. This shoe store also robbed. Looters freely walking around with stolen liquor and new shoes in plain sight. On the Grand Concourse, more destruction. Someone cut through the gate at this jewelry store. And at this pharmacy, the glass counters are knocked over, the shelves bare.
It hurts. It hurts, okay? Seeing my neighborhood destroyed like this, for what?
On when that might be removed or taken down, since the protests have become more peaceful, and who makes that decision?
Yeah, you know, I don't have any announcements with regard to the fencing. That's not something that's in White House control in terms of securing the perimeter. But what I would say is the president has recognized that the protests have largely been peaceful. Why have they been peaceful? It's because of the actions taken by this administration. If you'll notice, Minneapolis was in chaos until the National Guard came in, and then it was secure. You had outside here in Lafayette Park, I noted the 750 law enforcement officers that were injured across the country. Well, 1/5 of those were in D.C. and the vast majority in Lafayette Park. And once the National Guard came in, D.C. was secure. That Monday decision by the president of encouraging governors to surge the National Guard made the difference. And the president's recognized now that the protests are peaceful. He's recommended a winding down of the National Guard, very peaceful protest over the weekend. So with regard to the security of the building, not a decision for the White House, would refer you to Secret Service and Park Services on that. But the president has recognized the peaceful protesting and is encouraged by that. Yes, Jen.
Kaylee, on Hong Kong, can you say when will the administration revoke Hong Kong's trade status? And also, do you think that that move would be the only thing the administration does? Is there something else planned? And do you think that China will listen? Are you seeing any signs of China relenting on Hong Kong?
Yeah, we haven't seen any updates from China thus far. No announcements with regard to the timing of that, but the president has been very clear that China has placed its promise of one country, two systems, with one country, one system, which is what led the administration to make the announcement that it would begin eliminating policy exemptions that were given to Hong Kong, the special treatment that they once had.
Kaylee?
Yes, Steve.
Is there any, a week after what we saw in Lafayette Park last Monday night, are there any people here in this building who believe that, or does the president believe that perhaps things went the way they shouldn't have gone? Is there any regret on the part of the president or anyone here about how people were treated, people who were peacefully protesting, and how they were rushed out so violently?
No, there's no regrets on the part of this White House because, look, I'd note that many of those decisions were not made here within the White House. It was A.G. Barr who made the decision to move the perimeter. Monday night, Park Police also had made that decision independently when they saw all of the violence in Lafayette Square. And when, before these protesters were moved by Park Police and they issued that tactical order, there were 3 loud warnings. And as I believe it was A.G. Barr on Face the Nation noted, that some of those protesters moved back and adhered to the warning, but others of those protesters started hurling objects, and that was unacceptable. And Park Police acted as they felt they needed to at that time in response, and we stand by those actions.
The country and the world saw this violent clash between people who were otherwise peacefully protesting, but really the president is not sorry for the way things went?
No, the president is sorry about the fact that Antifa wreaked havoc in our streets and the failure of some members of the media to note that. Like CNN's Chris Cuomo said, show me where it says protesters are supposed to be peaceful. Well, I'd point him to the First Amendment where it says that you have the right to, quote, peaceably assemble. He should go back and read the Constitution. There are many others out there, like Don Lemon, saying that rioting is a mechanism to restructure our country. Burning down St. John's, using a pick to literally like carve out, as we saw in that video, concrete from the sidewalk to hurl at officers, that's not peacefully protesting. The actions of the rioters were not in keeping with the First Amendment. And I think the media needs to recognize there's a discernment between the peaceful protesters, many of whom I've seen, and the rioters. And yes, America will act against rioters. And yes, under President Trump, he will not allow burning buildings, 150 federal buildings to be defaced, and 750 law enforcement officers to be injured in our country.
Can I ask you one more about
Yes,
the president?
Ryan. I like the blue suit.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
a really snazzy look. Yeah.
Just to follow up on that, you do know that the burning of St. John's happened on Sunday nights, and a lot of the violence that you were talking about, that happened on Sunday night. What he was asking about was Monday, when, as anyone who was down there knows, it was almost exclusively peaceful, especially in the moments before the chemical munitions were used on those protesters. So do you just want to clarify that about the burning of St. John's? Because that happened on a different day.
Yeah, the burning of St. John's is what prompted the decision to move the perimeter. It's what prompted Park Police to say that evening the perimeter must be moved. It's what prompted, yes, it's what prompted A.G. Barr to agree with that decision on Monday morning that the perimeter needed to be moved. But when you hurl objects at Park Police, when you don't move after 3 orders are given, Park Police acted appropriately. When the shield of Park Police was batted down when one person tried to grab a Park Police officer's weapon, that's not peaceful by any definition of the word.
And one question on
Yeah.
the